In this video, I want to talk about two new cool tools that we saw at NAB that are making virtual production cheaper and more accessible. Let's jump into it. Real quick, you're watching Video Brand. Special thanks to our sponsors that helped make our NAB coverage possible. We've got Massive, which is really handy for sending really large files very quickly. Metricool, which we use to schedule out all of our social media and use it as our social media dashboard. OpenReel, which helps create marketing videos really fast and easy. Adspective, which you can use to dynamically insert ads using AI into videos. And Vestige, which adds invisible watermarking to videos. You can learn more about all our sponsors down in the description below. And now back to the video. What's up, everyone? Joey here from Video Brand. So we were at NAB, did a lot of videos, did a lot of coverage. You can check them all out here. But while I was there, I was on a quest to find a way or tools that were making virtual production easier to do and less expensive to do. Virtual production, super cool. Film things in a volume, either a LED wall or a TV or green screen. Replace it, track it with your camera. It feels like you're in a real world. I think it's the future. I believe in it. But right now, it's very expensive or it also takes a lot of technical knowledge, especially using Unreal, which I've dabbled with, but even just figuring out some basic stuff was very complicated. So I was looking for tools to help uncomplicate that. And I found two that seem very promising. One is for tracking the camera, and one is for not having to deal with Unreal. So let's talk about the first one, tracking the camera. That is VIVE Mars CamTrack. So VIVE, it's a company from HTC. They make VR headsets and trackers and devices. They're a bit more high-end VR headsets than we've seen from Meta until they came out with the Meta Pro, but they've been in the VR game for a while. And people realize they make these things, these puck-sized things that were designed to kind of be put on your arm or something so you could track a limb or an object in virtual space. But people realize that they're a really great size and very convenient to just mount on top of a camera. And you could use this puck tracker as a low-cost tracker in Unreal and put it on your camera and then just connect it into Unreal and then track your camera in the 3D space. So I actually went down this rabbit hole. I bought two base stations, which you need to mount in the corners of the room to track the space. And then I bought a Vive 3.0 tracker to stick on top of the camera. But the thing is, the tracker is not really designed to be used without the VR headset. I wasn't going to go buy $1,000 like VR headset to just use with my camera. So you kind of have to jailbreak the software to get it to work and to get it to connect to Unreal. It took like days of like YouTube videos and Facebook groups and forums to figure it out. I kind of figured it out, but it was sort of like hacked together and it wasn't like the greatest. So anyways, Vive smartly realized that, oh, okay, there's like this new use case of people using this stuff for virtual production. We should jump into that. And so they have jumped into that. So now the VIVE Mars CamTrack is a kit that they sell. It's $5,000.
We built a professional class camera tracking solution called Mars CamTrack that, you know, is a much higher quality tracking experience, as well as offering some of these more pro features that are required to be very successful either in a green screen or on an LED volume. So Mars CamTrack costs $5,000, and it is a few different pieces. So we have our rover tracking unit, and so this consists of the actual Vive tracker that's been on the market for a long time. It connects to the rover tracking box, and this pushes all the data via Ethernet back to the actual Mars box. And then here's where you can see all the kind of information associated with the camera tracking itself.
This kit comes with two trackers, 3 rovers. So you either put that on top of your camera or put it on the object that you want to track, or you can put it on the floor too to kind of have another point of reference. So that's why they come with 2 trackers. And then it comes with 3 rovers just in case you want to buy an extra tracker to use as a third tracking device because they don't sell the rovers independently. So that was their thought process behind that. It also comes with 2 base stations, which are the little boxes you mount in the corner of the set. That's how it sees everything, so it can track everything. And this can track about a 10 by 10 square meter space, so big enough for a small set. And then all of those devices, your rovers and your trackers, they run via Ethernet cable into the actual Mars device, which is a separate new box that they built. And this is designed to be very easy to use. It's got nice big buttons on it. And so you plug in your trackers into that. And that is what does all of the location tracking, all of the calculation, all of the spatial, like where is everything. And then you just plug that device into your computer and it just spits out nice, clean tracking numbers, which you then connect in Unreal to those tracking numbers, and all of the computation, all of the figuring stuff out is done on the separate Mars device. So that actually frees up resources on your computer. So your computer isn't having to render the scene in Unreal and also track positioning data, just has to deal with the Unreal stuff. And so they're running their demo actually using Axymetry, a different rendering software that's different from Unreal. And they're just running that off a laptop because the Mars device was just sending it the location data. So overall, really, really cool kit, inexpensive, comparable to all the other tracking devices out there. So really clever and smart that they realized there was this use case and decided to build a solution for it. And they also have a new piece coming that they previewed called FIZTrack. And so it's sort of the last piece of the puzzle to have like a full camera trackable in 3D space. And so this is a device that would go onto your lens and then plug into the rover. And so FIZTrack, this would track either the focus of the camera. So if you rack your focus, it would also send that data. So you could rack the focus in the virtual space so it matches up. Iris, if you adjust the exposure if you want to, or zoom, if you change the zoom, then the zoom on your virtual camera would also change. So this is coming later this year, but they did preview it, and that's sort of the last piece of the puzzle to have a full tracking solution to track all of the camera data and send it into Unreal or Axymetry or wherever. So that was easier solution for tracking the camera and tracking it in a virtual space. Now, not having to deal with Unreal was the second part of what I was looking for, and ARwall is the second company that seems to have a solution for this coming out. So they are sort of all around virtual production experts. They've done stuff where they've consulted on shoots or like helped set up shoots. They did a bunch of stuff for like the Muppets movie. A lot of it was virtual production. But now they're also releasing the software and hardware. And so their hardware coming out is the ARFX StudioBox.
This is an entire studio in a box. This is it right here. It is a little guy, but if you can believe it, this little guy here is just as powerful as what we were deploying on professional sets just 5 years ago. That's the power of processing for you, right?
And so the idea is this is a complete virtual studio in a box. It sends out one 4K stream, and so that stream could either be sent to an LED wall, it could be sent to a LED TV if you're using something smaller and can display it on a TV and use that as your backdrop, or it could be sent to a projector if you have a setup to project and do a projection for a short throw projector for your virtual space. So you get this computer, it's $4,200. It's powerful enough to run your virtual space. And then also they said that it will be able to connect to your phone with an app that they're developing, and that you could actually use your phone as a tracker. So you, in theory, might not need the VIVE Mars CamTrack that I mentioned, but it does work with that. And so with this app, if it works, you would be able to put your phone on top of your camera, and your phone has all the sensors and can already track positioning. So you just put the phone on the camera, use that as a tracker, and it would connect with the ARFX box, and then you would, in theory, be good to go. So it really would be like a full studio in the box where like you can track everything with the camera. And they also did say that the app, you would also be able to eventually record inside your camera and even do stuff like scene extensions or set extensions, where if you have your like TV screen with whatever, your person torso in front of the TV screen, but if you had a wider shot in your scene, if you're filming on the iPhone, in theory, this set extension could automatically expand the scene while you're recording in-app. In theory, we haven't seen that yet. They're previewing the ARFX box, the computer box. And so the other thing that's cool about this is that it also comes with the ARFX app. And this is where my interest was piqued, because this app brings in preloaded sets that they've already built from Unreal into the app. And then it makes it a whole lot easier to navigate. So you could use an Xbox controller or a keyboard and mouse, but basically you can load in one of their pre-built sets and then just easily more navigate through the set with your Xbox controller and change settings, like change the lighting, change the weather, stuff that they've already preset.
It's like you're running a video game, you're playing a video game, but the game you're playing is making a movie. And so you select your weather, your sky, your lighting. You even have animation cues.
Easier interface, not having to like dig into the million panels. And
exactly. So you can use keyboard, mouse, or you can use an Xbox controller. But the most interesting thing is your smartphone is the tracker. You don't need any additional hardware at all to do this. And your smartphone can also be the remote control to the system as well. So seeing that, if that comes off, that would be really cool. Having this just sort of like go-to sets that you could quickly load, position around with your Xbox controller of like what angle you want with the shot, and then you're good to go. You don't have to deal with all of the Unreal stuff. That's what I'm most interested in. So I'm very curious to see when this does come out, how it plays out, and how easy it is to use. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, we're seeing stuff like this. And so this is what I'm hoping the more accessible future of virtual production looks like. Stuff that makes it easier and less expensive to build a volume, track your camera, track your objects, and then stuff that makes it easier to just load a virtual scene that's as easy as like an app where you don't have to deal with
Unreal Engine and the more complex stuff if you don't need to. Like if I just need a generic like house background for a quick shoot, I don't really care if it's like stock house background. Like I just need it to look cool and be easy enough to navigate and pull it off in my small studio. That would be like my ultimate goal. So I think things are heading in that direction with virtual production. Also, we had a little bit of hints of stuff coming with generative AI where you could just type in kind of like what kind of background you want and have a roughly 2.5D version of that background generated. So I think that's also another future direction that we are heading with virtual production. But either way, exciting stuff. I would love to know what you think. So let me know in the comments below if you've dabbled with virtual production, if you have found easier, more accessible solutions with virtual production, or if you've just become an Unreal expert. Either way, let me know at the bottom. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll catch you in the next episode.